All right, welcome back in, Hawks fan. This is Coach Gavin Cummings along with Coach Tyler Space. We're back again for another night here for another ACHA matchup between your Crimson Hawks and Canisius College. First off, Tyler Space, just want to know what your thoughts on the game were last night. We ended up with a 5-2 win. Three power play goals, so two 5-on-5 goals here, and along with them, they had one power play goal. Just kind of want to know your thoughts on what we need to do as a team to kind of make this 5-on-5 play a little better.
Right. Yeah. I mean, overall we got the win, which is good, but I don't think it was our best hockey as a team. That's for sure. 5-on-5, like when you watch the film or if you're here watching the game, it looks like we dominated in their end a lot of times. I mean, we had a slow start. The first 10 minutes were not our best. That's been a common theme for the start of the year so far. Once we put the first goal in, we really picked it up. But just a lot of mishandling the puck, not taking shots when we had good shots, and really just making things a lot harder than they should have been. So I think if we can simplify tonight, and we can really just do make the smart plays and get shots on net, I think we'll have a much better time scoring 5-on-5 and making more of a game out of it.
Yeah, I would totally agree. I mean, we did have a really big slow start coming up. The guys kind of just weren't into it yet in the beginning of the game. But if you look at the shots at the end of the game, 45-20. On paper we absolutely dominated the game, but there was some minor details in our game that needed to be fixed. And along the way we got a win out of it. But I think we just need to be better 5-on-5 in a total 60 games. So. Switching up a little bit here. You coached the D3 team last year. We have two players that we've kind of moved up from the D3 program up to this year, Fletcher Harvey and Gavin Filson. If you could just kind of talk a little bit about Filson's game. He's been in the lineup the most. He's kind of made quite an impact. He's not on the score sheet just yet, but just talk a little bit about their game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Gavin Filson, his compete level's through the roof. That was one thing we noticed last year. Last year was his second year at D3, and just his game increased 10 times from his freshman year to his sophomore year at the D3 level. And again, just the compete on offense and defense, the back check, forecheck, everything there is the hockey IQ. Everything is just really excelled recently, and we noticed that obviously, and we're able to bring him up here to the D1 level where it really doesn't look like he's missing a step. He's got a few assists so far, hasn't put one in the net yet, and he was our leading goal scorer, goals and points at D3 last year. He's going to be due here very shortly as long as he keeps working at it. Fletcher Harvey, another big pull-up from defense. I mean, he had a great start to the year so far. He's doing what we need him to do in that 5th, 6th, 7th D spot, depending on where we have him in the lineup. Made some really big defensive plays last weekend at Rutgers. As long as you can keep the speed up and just keep going and make the smart plays, I mean, they're going to be huge assets to us throughout the year.
Yeah, I would totally agree on both of that. So we played Rutgers last week. I think it was a 10-2, 9-3 games. So we kind of really dominated on the score sheet then. But we're 5-0 so far in the start of the year. A lot of non-conference games. What are you most looking forward to as we kind of progress more into the season? Get into some CHMA games and kind of the biggest thing is dominating our division and making a real big play in our division. So those are the games that matter. We need to kind of dominate in the CHMA so we can take that into playoffs. So I just want to know kind of your thoughts on what we're looking for. I mean, we still have a little bit of time here for some league play, but kind of your thoughts on CHMA and where we stand this year.
Right. I think just really trying to shake the rust off here in these first few weekends where we're doing the non-CHMA games. I think we have a great start, like you said, just trying to simplify and make sure we can really mesh together and get down to our game. And it shouldn't be too hard because we don't have too many new players. A lot of these guys are all returners, so really everyone's already vibing together and know what we need to do. They already know the IUP hockey way. It's just kind of getting everyone on board and making sure everyone's prepared. I mean, you and I both know from playing this, once we get in the CHMA games, that's when it gets really fun. That's the games that really matter. That's the games that everyone's more passionate about, everyone's trying harder for. That's always the main goal of every season. I think our chances are really good. We haven't really seen much of the other CHMA teams yet, obviously. We haven't played any yet. We've been watching the scores and kind of seeing what they're doing. Not everyone has played so far. But I mean, the way that we look on paper and how we're doing so far in these non-CHMA games, I think our chances are good. We're obviously going to be a top 3 team for sure, and I don't see any reason why if we play our way, we're not a contender for that first place spot, which is obviously the season goal.
Right, yeah, and I totally agree. Just chiming in a little bit here, I totally agree back, when we played back then, it's a whole different animal come CHMA. These games, not that they don't matter, it's just, you're kind of going through the motions. You're playing as hard as you can, but, those CHMA games are a total different animal. Kind of changing a little bit, we got a week off here, homecoming, and then we travel on the road to Syracuse and Buffalo. What do you kind of expect in these next 2 weeks a little bit, with some time off, and just what do you expect during practice, whether that be, having some fun, playing some certain games that you wouldn't usually play during practice and stuff, but what are your thoughts on these next couple weeks with a little bit of downtime?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of the same. I mean, next week, obviously, like you said, we're off because of homecoming. We still are going to practice, though, so maybe a little bit more fun at practice with no games that homecoming weekend. Give the boys some chance to have a little bit more fun on the ice, and they're going to have fun over the weekend for sure. Get right back to work like normal the following week after that before we go out to Syracuse. And again, just kind of the same as like this weekend against Canisius, last weekend against Rutgers. Getting those non-CHMA games in, really trying to push for the rankings when they come out in a month or so, and make sure that we're in a good spot. Just keep winning and keep honing in our game so we're ready for those first CHMA games, which I think it's like 2 game weekends that we have before we get into those.
Yeah, we're still a little bit of ways away. So just looking at tonight's matchup, last night, like you said, we not that we struggled 5-on-5, and we did struggle a little bit early in the game, but what are you looking for? Some tips of the game tonight. What are the focuses? More on the offensive side, and then I can touch a little bit on the defensive side. But what are your kind of tips looking into tonight's matchup?
Yeah, I mentioned a little bit earlier, as long as we can simplify, especially on the offensive side, I think everyone was trying to do a little bit too much. We were trying to force passes into the high slot, into the middle. Guys were trying to reach behind their back and catch it and pull it between their legs with 2 or 3 opposing players on them, and it's not going to work at this level no matter who you're playing against. And we can't pass up shooting opportunities. A lot of good rebounds on shots that hit the net last night, but then there's a lot of chances we had where we just didn't even get the shot off because we tried doing something too fancy.
Right, there was a lot of odd man breaks where we were, instead of just looking for a shot, we tried to force it, and just, I think with those opportunities we need to capitalize, and it could have been a 10-2 game last night if we just capitalized on some of those open nets that we missed and some of the odd man breaks that we just forced and kind of chipped away at. But defensively, I think with Adam Allwine had a really good game last night. Looking in, you got Fletcher Harvey and Lakaitis back in the lineup. I think kind of these big bodies are going to throw a new aspect to the other team a little bit. It's just a different game back there when you put 2 6'4", 200-pound defensemen into the game. You're not forechecking as hard as you can, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to tonight. Again, I hope we come out strong and play a good 60-minute game and capitalize on some of our chances. So pretty much all I got. If you got anything, thank you all for coming out. Hope you tune in, watch the game. I look forward to seeing some of those faces in the crowd. Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, no, thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully we can see you here in person, and if not, definitely tune in. Yep. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Brandon Lakomsky. Also wing number 67, Patrick Pagano. At center, number 23, Evan Haskins. And in goal today, number 30, Christian Schwartz. And for your Hawks, on defense, number 24, Maddox Rurik. Also on D, number 74, Zach Soy. At wing, number 5, Jordan Adams. Also wing, number 19, Matthew Loza. At center, number 15, Spencer Johnston. In goal today for your Hawks, number 40, Shane Piemba. Would you please rise, remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem.
Good afternoon, hockey fans. For the IUP Hockey Network, my name is Josh H. With me, Alex Duffalo. We're here ready to bring you Game 2 of the IUP Crimson Hawks versus Canisius and the Golden Griffins. Last night, of course, resulting in a win for the Crimson Hawks. 5-2 is the final score. A couple of men scratching that score sheet. We had 2 goals from Jace Rarick as well. We saw Connor Halper do a great job in the crease as well. Tonight, it is now Shane Paremba between the pipes for the Crimson Hawks as we're nearing puck drop now. It's that eerie line that we mentioned at Coach's Corner yesterday that is starting out there. That's Jordan Adams, Spencer Johnson, and Matthew Loza. The defenseman on the blue line, Maddox Rarick and Zach Soy. As that puck shuffles in on Shane Paremba. He's going to freeze it down.
I think what Canisius needs to do today, Josh, coming off that loss yesterday, is they need to look to be more aggressive. As we saw early on in the first period yesterday, they scored with their power play goal, but they also were looking to push the pace. And once IUP halted that from them, they kind of got complacent. So they need to keep pushing the pace and stay on the same aggressive game plan that they had in the first 4 minutes of the first period yesterday.
There's Adams in the left side of the zone. He dumps it down in. Spencer Johnson giving chase. On that backboard, Maddox Rarick has it now on the blue line. Shuffles one in, looking for the deflection from Adams.
Not a bad idea there.
The goaltender for Canisius, Christian Schwartz. So they're going to whistle that down offsides. Like I was saying, number 30, Christian Schwartz for Canisius is between the pipes for the Golden Griffs. Of course, they're wearing the blue sweaters and blue pants, attacking from left to right here in the first period. And the Crimson Hawks wearing white and red, attacking from right to left. We see a neutral zone draw here. It's now Malloy, Miller, and Fairman, the forwards. That one's won by Canisius. Still at center ice. Got a soft dump in. Schmelzer behind his own net. He gives it to his partner, Donovan. Donovan off the boards. He's trying to spring Fairman, who was intercepted. He keeps it back for himself. Now Fairman has it, leaving the zone. He's off the skate of Miller and springs Donovan all alone. He swipes one on backhand. It was handled by Schwartz. It's a tie up on the far boards, and Canisius takes it in all alone. A quick shot patted away by Paremba.
He was all over that in the net. But they got to be careful making sure that nobody has enough space to skate freely with the puck like that, especially that close to the net.
Cutting into the middle is Coogan. Tie up in that far corner. Coogan now behind the net. Looking for somebody, and there was a forward there to collect, but Hunter Fairman intercepted that pass. It's whistled dead. As the net comes off of its pegs, we'll see a draw down there in the Hawks zone. It's Jake Schmelzer and Sean Donovan, the defensemen. Still that second line of forwards, Miller, Malloy, and Fairman.
That puck's won by the Hawks as they take board play here in the corner.
A couple of men fighting for it down there. It leaves the zone. Depredina collects in near center ice. A fanned pass that is now still being fought for. Miller tying his man up on the blue line. So Schmelzer tried to get that puck down there. He was unable to. LeBlanc had that centering pass, but Schmelzer was there to fill the lane. Now Miola taking it in on the right side.
Got a good opportunity here.
Hey,
a quick shot.
Tried to tip that in. Tudich was there, shuffling through the blue paint. Of course, Schwartz held it out. Now there's Allwine. Tudich down low. Allwine has on the left wing. He goes across ice for Miola. There's a one-timer by Harvey from the point, excuse me. Allwine throws one in. There was a deflection by that defenseman up above the net.
Yeah, that was dangerous too. That was kind of close to the net coming off the defenseman from Canisius. Another offsides call.
Yeah, Luke White takes it offsides. 3-2 currently the shot counter sits in favor of the Crimson Hawks. There's going to be some new personnel out there for both teams. The forwards now, Jacob Gray, Caleb Hoffman, and Gavin Filson. And then the defensemen, still Adam Allwine and Fletcher Harvey. They're mixing in a couple of new defensemen for the night. We'll see Colin Lakaitis as well working in. So there's one that's thrown in from the neutral zone that was right into the chest of Paremba. And we're talking about the different type of play styles that both of the Crimson Hawks goaltenders have. And we were mentioning that Connor Halpert is a very active goaltender, likes to keep the play moving. Shane Paremba is quite the opposite. Basically, anytime it's in on him, he's going to freeze it and let his men get another draw.
Yeah, you saw that with the first shot of the game. It was behind the blue line there. There's a quick save by Paremba in the net. But there was a shot from behind the blue line. They weren't even in the offensive zone, and he just chose to freeze it up and reset. So even shots like that where they're just slow rolling pucks towards him, he likes to just gather them up.
There's Gray trying to kill that momentum that Canisius sort of was kick-starting there. He threw it off the boards and down to the other side of the ice. Icing is the call. We'll head back down to the Crimson Hawks zone. 3-3 now tied up on the shot counter. We're going to see the Canisius sort of throw the kitchen sink at the Crimson Hawks and Shane Paremba as they were really struggling to, besides the early goings of that first period last night, they were struggling to get their offense set up.
Yeah,
solely because of the IUP forecheck and back check. They did a great job, and they're going to do a little bit more of it tonight.
Yeah.
Now Filson takes it in on the left side. He's all alone. Goes around one man. He shot it between the legs of Depredina and missed wide.
And I like the play that Filson had yesterday. He doesn't show up on the scorebook in any shape or manner, but if you watch the game yesterday, he had a great forecheck going all game, and he really kept the puck in Canisius's defensive end a lot of the time while he was on shift.
Soy has it. He's looking up ice, dancing around one man. There's Lowe's on that far side. They're avoiding the forecheckers. Adams is trying to poke it free in the neutral zone. And now here come the Hawks. There's Soy.
Good opportunity
to the right side. He throws one on. That's patted away. Loose puck. He's taken to the boards. Jordan Adams was back there to collect as well. Maddox Rear tied up in here with Coogan. Now North takes it into the zone.
We've talked about it before. They got away with it there, but the Hawks do a great job of getting on those rebounds. Just when Soy was carrying that puck up and he put the shot on net, it was a short rebound, and Canisius has got to be careful and corral those quickly because there will be a Hawk standing there ready.
Hunter Fairman off the bench finds Adams streaking through the middle. He was tangled up with North. They're going to raise the hand there for icing, but Donovan is going to collect it before it hits that goal line. He's going to use the boards and give it for Fairman in center ice. He swipes it for Miller, going right up the gut. Tries to go around one man. Malloy goes left and right. An amazing kick save by Schwartz. Fairman still has it below the goal line. So he's taken to the ice.
Great work by Fairman here down below.
Gives it up in that middle slot. He was trying to find Malloy. Canisius is going to be happy with the clear. Now Coogan has it. IUP has the numbers, and they did a great defensive job there. Was Schmelzer and Donovan closing that gap and knocking the puck loose. It's back into the neutral zone now. And Donovan all alone. He throws the saucer pass for Fairman. in the neutral zone. Fairman back to Donovan. It's stick down by Malloy. Malloy's going to rim it around the back of the boards. So there's nobody there to collect.
A great hit on the side by Fairman, and that was clean.
And we see a couple of bodies tied up in there. Lakomsky involved, Fairman, Miller's involved as well. We see Tyler Hansen giving a couple checks. Pagano giving it up for Goodwin. Goodwin takes it into the zone. Goodwin and Lakomsky. There's a turnaround shot that missed wayward. A one-timer from the point right into the chest of Paremba, and he's going to freeze it up straight into his blue paint. So the score still 0-0. We're just over 5 minutes into this first period of play. 5-5, the shot counter sits.
Canisius is doing a great job of actually getting into their own offensive end, just getting shots on Paremba. They had a tough time. Like you mentioned, we said the first 3 minutes of the period yesterday, they did a great job and then got halted by IUP's defense. And today they seem to be doing a little bit better of a job. However, IUP is combating that by pushing them still to the outside. Nobody's able to get to that middle, and Canisius has to work on that if they want to see some success.
Miola kick-starting that breakout pattern. He sprung Jace Rierick into the zone. There's a great closeout job by the defenseman. Now coming up the left side, Hansen. He was trying to find North on the left side as well. Back there, Lakaitis as well. Time to the backboard. Now here's Canisius trying to set up. There's a backhander from behind the net. Paremba held his post. Using the glass, now North has it on the right side. Trying to find his man in the middle of the ice, but Jace Rierick intercepted. There's a one-time shot from North. It's missed to the left. Harvey's tying it up behind Moose. Now Jace Rierick has it in that far corner. He's just going to dump it into the neutral zone. North keeps it in. Backhand
Great save by
away
Moose.
by Paremba.
My goodness.
Tudich coming up the left side. It's a quick pass all the way in. Miola tried to take the one-time shot off the pass from the boards. He missed.
And that's
coming through the neutral zone.
That's a play we haven't seen from the Hawks yet, just sending it down the ice and having a guy there waiting to throw one on.
Miola on the left wing. He shoots one up high. It's shouldered away by Schwartz. Miola down low. Gives it to Tudich. Tudich in the middle. Hoffman one-time shot on the wing. Miola now in the left corner. He finds Maddox Rierick up on the point. Off the boards, Miola left wing again. Nobody down low, but Tudich is there to collect. Backhands it for Hoffman. Hoffman to Tudich on the far side. Now Tudich again trying to find Hoffman. He keeps it in, but now Canisius clears the zone. Coming up the right side is Coogan. He throws one on. It was patted away by Paremba. Gray now on the ice, collecting right off the bench. He'll join the rush. With Hoffman in the neutral zone. He'll chuck it into Canisius' zone. The great lane filled by Maddox Rierick as he's going to dump it straight back in. Quinn Collins now has it in his own zone. Great stick check by Jacob Gray. Now carrying it in. Sean Donovan, he's got two men on him. He throws the brakes on, maintains possession. So he's going to cycle it up to the point.
Great puck handling by Donovan there.
Trying to hit Gray on the wing. So they're going to whistle it down off sides. There was a pretty physical hit there, sort of after the whistle into the glass by Donovan. So we have 11:46 in the first period.
And you like to see some of that puck handling work that Donovan puts on, because usually we see some aggressive players going after him when he has the puck on him, and that's when you see those nasty reverse hits he puts on. But as you see there, when they back off, he's able to show a little bit of style that we don't see normally.
Schmelzer now has it, tipped it right back into the neutral zone. Johnson trying to find Loza. Canisius intercepts, and they're going to bring it right back up. Haskins dumping it in for Coogan. Moose comes out of his crease and dumps it straight back into the neutral zone. Now here's Bowen. He's going to throw it off the boards, but there's Adams.
Yeah, great work being there for that.
Yeah, Adams trying to find somebody in the slot. He's going to give it up high for Schmelzer at the point. He throws one on. A deflection in by Johnson that went wayward. A couple of good offensive chances there for the Hawks. Schmelzer keeps it in.
Great work by Schmelzer.
To the left side, he's dancing around one man. The backhander for that post is patted away by Schwartz. And there's Hansen to just clear it away from the goaltender. Now Adams has him tied up to the boards. He's all alone on that forecheck. Lakomsky, a wayward pass for Hunter Fairman. He brings it in all alone. He's going to take one and try and target that left post. It hit the outside of the cage. Now bringing it up is Canisius.
With some speed.
Yeah, Haskins up into the right side. Miller tried to stick it away. So he's going to dump it in. There's Allwine on the other side. All alone. Depardina has it. So he's going to cycle it back down low for North. Allwine tied it up. Miller hitting his man. Loose puck in the middle of the zone. Now it's collected by Allwine. He's going to give it up to Fairman. Fairman just going to dump it right back in for Depardina. Puck maintained by the Crimson Hawks as now it's still being shuffled through. So stretch pass for Malloy. He enters in on the right. He's going to throw on the brakes. A backhander. He was trying to find Fairman cross ice, but he still gets possession. Fairman drops it off for Lakaitis. Malloy down low on the goal line. Gives it for, I believe that's Shane Miller, who's tripped up, no call. Hunter Fairman has it in the far corner. Chipped it for Miller. Miller back to Fairman, goal line. Now Miller again on the other side. He was trying to find Malloy on the back door. There's North to tie up that chance.
Great movement around the net there to find that open chance, but the Golden Griffins did a great job poking it away.
Shane Miller again looking for Malloy on that back door. They're really hammering that connection.
Man, you would think with this possession time that the Crimson Hawks were on a power play, but man, they're just relentless whenever they get into an offensive end. A great move off to the side there as he loses an edge.
Hansen was the only Canisius Golden Griffin down there as they were in the middle of a line change. Now there's some reinforcements for Canisius, but Miola maintained it. Now Maddox Rearick's going to reverse the boards. Schwartz goes to try and collect it. Couldn't do so. Miola has it on the right wing. Gives it for Jace Rearick. Now Soy, point. Maddox Rearick point shot that went to the left. Soy now has it. Gives it for Jace Rearick on the right wing. He takes the shot. It's shouldered by Schwartz and frozen right there. So it was a lot of heavy offensive pressure for the Crimson Hawks. You mentioned that it looked like they were on the power play, but they were 5-on-5. They're just working the puck very well on the outside of the ice and looking for that one specific look inside.
Yeah, and they're moving and replacing positions really well too. When one guy shoots and moves, the other guy's moving in to replace that same position and that open ice spots, which is beautiful to watch. It's like a symphony in motion, Josh.
And of course, that cycling motion from the forwards is going to create as many chances as they can. Now Lukomsky has on the right side. It was gloved away by Paremba. Canisius is going to keep it in. Maddox Rearick has it. A couple of guys on him. It's now in the neutral zone. Miola on the forecheck, as well as Tudic. Tudic throws a man into the center ice. It's all the way down for Schwartz. Schwartz is going to use the boards. On the receiving end, Lukomsky.
And great
forecheck. Jace Rearick trying to find Tudic on that quick pass. Now, with some speed, Goodwin into the zone. He takes a shot. It's sticked up and out of play. It's a great stick check by Soy as that shot went up and into the rafters with 7:48 to play.
And that's what Canisius needs to look to do. They got to the middle there and they were able to get a shot off, but it's hard when you got a defense like the Crimson Hawks have, where they're able to have their tall defensemen in there with their sticks and poke checking everything away. You get a shot off, but it's going to get tipped somewhere or it's going to get deflected. But they need to keep looking to get in that middle. That was a good opportunity for the Golden Griffins.
Face off won by the Hawks. Now Filson is going to take it up through center ice. He's going to dump it down in deep. He's going to look to collect it too. Schwartz tipped it around, but Donovan keeps it in on the blue line. They have an odd man rush the other way, Canisius. It's North. Has it on the left side, backhands it right into the chest of Paremba. Throws it behind him. Good job by Donovan that was sort of denying that angle that he had on the odd man. Now Gray into the zone. Sticked away by Collins. Hoffman behind the net. Depardina giving him some trouble. Gray has it on the right wing. He gives it for Donovan. Donovan goes to Filson on the left wing. He throws one on and misses high.
That was a great look by Filson going near post there.
And Donovan keeps it in at the blue line. Now Gray down low. Board battle in there. Filson tries to go and help out. North collects it. And gives it up for Akulowicz.
Schmelzer's got some space here to work with.
And he goes between one man.
Great work. Oh, what a shot!
And he went for that left post. He's just sort of fumbling through the defenseman. He found it on the blade of his stick all alone. Went left post, and now the score is 1-0.
He moved beautifully through that offensive defensive zone. Depends on who your what perspective you're looking through. But, I mean, he moved around those two defenders beautifully and kind of kicked it right to himself at the end there. He must have found a tiny, I can't see which hole exactly it went through, but he found a tiny little spot to sneak it by. That was beautiful.
You don't often see a defenseman of his stature going in that deep, especially carrying it through multiple other defensemen. He just showed it off there and advanced to score 1-0. We'll see if the Crimson Hawks can sort of boost that lead. So now Bowen dumps it down in. Harvey has it in his own zone. Turn around, he finds Adams. He's tied up. And there's Coogan. There's a blue line shot from Bowen. Paremba had no issue. The Hawks trying to break out now. Loza looking for Spencer Johnston. He's kept down, hit down by Joshua Kulowicz.
Yeah, if you're the Golden Griffins here, after that goal, you got to be even more prepared for the Hawks to turn it up. They tend to do that as soon as they get at least one in a game.
Fletcher Harvey tried to bat it down all alone. A quick shot, shouldered away by Paremba. And then off the rebound, it was batted out of the air and finds the back of the net behind Paremba. That was just an amazing display of athleticism. By Aiden LeBlanc, one of the top scorers for this Canisius squad.
Yeah, and you can't be too mad if you're Paremba in the net there. He made a beautiful save on the first shot, and I mean, that was darn close to a high stick, but great hand-eye coordination to hit it out of the air on that second shot and put it in the back of the net. Like I said, if you're Shane Paremba in the back of the net, you have nothing to worry about. That was a great save on the first shot and a little bit of luck on the second one.
We saw the officials going to discuss it and see if it was a high stick, but of course they ruled it a goal. After the discussion, we're all knotted up at 1. We saw this exact same story last night as, of course, Canisius scored first, and then the Crimson Hawks went unanswered.
Got a good opportunity here, Josh.
Hunter Fairman on the right wing trying to find Miller on that cross ice.
He was tripped up, no call.
Maddox Rearkazi throws one on, looking for the deflection with Fairman. Soy bats it in.
I'm liking the energy I'm seeing from the Crimson Hawks here. They seem urgent.
Fairman on the goal line. He's tied up and taken to the ice. It's batted out into the neutral zone. Soy just going to collect and let his men reset. Now Maddox Rear throws it off the boards. Trying to find Hunter Fairman on that blue line. Schwartz collects it and bats it around. There's White and Malloy tied up. He swipes it away for Fairman. Fairman to Malloy down low. Malloy's going to cycle it up high. He's trying to give it up for Soy.
Great work by Malloy to keep it in the offensive end.
And he still has it. He gives it for Fairman down low. Fairman
what a move by Fairman.
He gives it to Miller in close. Schwartz from the seat of his pants. There was no initial shot on by Miller. He was fanned away. And now Miller's just going to dump it right back in.
That play had Schwartz all discombobulated back there.
And Fairman tied up down low. Malloy in the far corner. He's going to take it up high. Uses the boards. And Fairman down low. He just swipes it into the back of the cage. He's going to give it right back up to Schwartz. They're going to freeze it there. 4:33 to go in the game.
I think that's the smart play there. Kind of take a little bit of breather, especially if you're Schwartz in the net. You've been all over the place. You were just on your butt, rolling around, trying to find the puck. So freezing the puck might have been the best idea for him.
Puck drop now won by the Crimson Hawks. Rearick down low. Brings it up to the point. Backhander for Donovan streaking down. That was an amazing look. He's intercepted. Now Miola has it down low. Up for Donovan. Donovan one-timer. Sticked away and stuffed up by Quinn Collins. There's a Kulowicz.
Great work by Tudich to get
around
back
the way, north in close. Paremba stood tall and
what a save.
Kept him there. The hand is up down low. It's going to be against Canisius. And here's Rearick in tight. He tries to go with the reverse. And Schwartz held that post.
What a great look down here by Jace Rearick on that last chance before the blown whistle. I mean, he almost tucked it right around that skate and right through the post there. But like you said, good job by Schwartz to stick to it and keep his skate glued to the edge of the post there.
We see 2 minutes assessed to Hansen. We see our first look at the power play of the night. We saw 2 power play goals for the Crimson Hawks last night. And of course, they've already been moving the puck very well. 5-on-5. We'll see with a little extra ice how they can do. Now Fairman has it on that right point to Miller. Miller left wing. Back to Fairman. Fairman up high. One-timer by Miller. He tries to target that right post. The fumbling puck. Loza has it down low. Malloy below the goal line. Spins off one man. Tries to find Adams on the left post. Bouncing puck in tight. Malloy collects.
Back there's where Malloy works so well.
Fairman has it at the point. He fakes one shot and gives it up to French. on the fanned pass. It's a minute 29, still on the power play. Fairman hits Malloy. Malloy with some speed on the left side. He's going to use the boards and give it for Miller down low. There's a good clear by Quinn Collins up and out of the zone. It's going to kill off another 10 seconds or so of the power play. Fairman has it behind Paremba.
Here we go. We're just about 1 minute into the power play, 50% of it gone. So we'll see a couple more pushes here from the Crimson Hawks. They're going to get a little bit more aggressive out of this. Rest of this kills off.
There's Tudich. He's going to take it in on the right side. Try to go behind him for Rierick, but he maintained possession. Johnson sticking it away. Now Jace Rierick has it down low. He's taken to the glass. Johnston in close. Tried to hit Tudich on that right wing, but Schmelzer has it and gives it for Jace Rierick on the left wing. Maddox Rierick in tight. No dice. Jace Rierick now, again, trying to find his brother on the left post. Jace has it on the goal line and down below now. He's going to give it to Tudich on the right wing. Tudich for Johnston down low. Now Schmelzer has it at the point. Fake shot. Going to go around one man and cycle to that right wing. He's going to take it down low now.
The Golden Griffins are crashing quick whenever the Hawks have a shot opportunity. Right here, Jace got to take one.
Rierick has one.
They got to take their open shots.
Around, yeah.
Quick releases here because, like I said, Golden Griffins are closing in quick.
Schmelzer at the point. It's expired the power play as Schmelzer takes a last-ditch effort to shoot one in as that power play expires. And just like that, there was only a couple of looks on that odd man advantage for the Crimson Hawks. Either way, we'll be back to 5-on-5 play, a minute 54 to go in the period.
Yeah. Canisius did a great job of maintaining their composure. They did a lot better job on that penalty kill than they did yesterday. And the result shows they were able to kill it off all 2 minutes.
Depardino worked around Hoffman. Gives it up for LeBlanc. LeBlanc hit a turnaround shot from the neutral zone to Paremba. He had no issue with it. Minute 43. See a face-off now to the left of Paremba. He's out talking to his defenseman to see if he can work up some sort of play. That one is won by Canisius. Now Coogan has it on that right wing and is looking for the centering pass, but Hoffman intercepted it. Now Filson's just going to dump it in, and it's gloved immediately by Schwartz. A minute 32 now.
Yeah, I'm not too upset about that little dump in that Filson had. That was a bouncing puck. Once it starts bouncing around, you never know, it might kick a certain way.
Certainly trouble once it's fumbling like that and it hits the ice. We're going to get the top line of forwards out there for most likely the remainder of the period. Might get one more line change, but it's Malloy, Fairman, and Miller. It's one straight back by Malloy. Fairman has it, and he tries to shoot one in, stopped by the blade of Malloy. And now Lakaitis shoots one in. And
great shot.
Hit off the chest of Schwartz. Again, Lakaitis has it on that left point. He gives it to Fairman on the wing. Fairman cycling it.
Good movement by Fairman here.
One. He takes one in and shuffling through the blue paint. Was not behind Schwartz. Miller tied up on the boards.
Coming up here, Josh. Heads up.
Up by us. We stayed awake. Appreciate Miller chipping that right up to us. We'll see another draw here to the right of Schwartz. Malloy, Fairman, and Miller still the forwards out there. It's now Lakaitis and Allwine, the defenseman. 1 minute and 5 to play. Puck drop there, won by the Crimson Hawks. Now Lakaitis throws one in deep. Miller chipping it away. Turnaround shot by Malloy that was stopped by Schwartz. Now they're
here we go.
Going to get into it a little bit. Both top lines for their respective squads getting after it before they head to the locker rooms for the first intermission.
And a little bit of 7-on-7 chirping there in the corner.
It's Malloy and Akulowicz getting in each other's faces. We get one more line change, it seems like. Rierick, Miola, and Tudich. That's one by the Hawks. A quick shot by Allwine. Now Lakaitis is back to protect. It's kept in the zone by Miola. Pagano now takes it out. He's going to dump it straight into Paremba, fumbling puck. He handled the rebound. Allwine taken to the glass. Pagano was tripped up down low, but there was no call. Allwine brings it up the left side, now into the middle. Gonna backhand it for Miola, who's gonna chip it right into the zone. The hand goes up. They're gonna whistle it down offsides, I believe. Either that or it went out of play.
I think it hit that little green pad right next to the backup goalie there on Canisius' bench. Well, one of them, on the left side, that is.
So we'll see a neutral zone draw for the last 26.9 seconds on the game clock. A lot of stoppages here in the final minutes of the first period.
And still tied up here. So the Canisius has done a great job limiting IUP to just one so far. We'll see if IUP can get another one here quick with 22 left remaining in this first.
Miola has it, turns it right back around. Now Jace Rierick on the left wing. He's going to hit his man. It's tied up down there by Tudic. Bowen trying to bring it up. Miola takes his man to the glass. Maddox Rierick hits Tudic on the far side.
Gonna need to get a quick one off here.
And he boards it around. There's a quick look in. Oh, it was a very close timing. And Soy was holding it up to the fans. He was holding his fingers together. He was so close.
Yeah, it almost had a buzzer beater there.
Yeah, with that score knotted up at 1, we had a early goal, by Hunter Fairman. And then LeBlanc by Canisius. Knotted up at 1. We'll be back for the second period for the IUP Hockey Network. I'm Josh Yates. With me, Alex Duffalo. Welcome back, everybody. The ice is cut and ready to go here for the second frame of action. The score currently sits 1-1. We saw a nasty walk-in goal off the rush from Jake Schmelzer. And then we saw a 2-on-1 look that was netted by Aiden LeBlanc for Canisius. 1-1. We're ready to go here for the second period of play. We've heard word that Matthew Loza is now out and Fletcher Harvey is being bumped up to play forward. So we'll see how that, we'll see how the squad sort of adapts to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Mid-game changes can either be catastrophic or they can work really well. It just depends on how you plan for them.
The Hawks right back at it. We were talking at the intermission, the Crimson Hawks we're setting up very nicely in the offensive zone.
Yeah.
So we sort of have a 3-on-2 the other way. Here's Lukowski on the left side. He throws one in. Shoulder save by Paremba, no issue. But as I was saying, the Crimson Hawks were setting up even 5-on-5 when it was full strength. They're setting it up as if it was a power play, and the forwards were cycling very well. So those chances are almost certainly going to, become fruitful here in the second period, you hope. And the one goal that Canisius had was off the rush, a 2-on-1 the other way. So the Crimson Hawks doing a great job holding Canisius out, and they're setting their offense up well. So we're in for a good second period as now Maddox Rierick and Tyler Hansen had it glued to the board. Now it pops free. Collins on the left wing. He gives it to his partner. Miller intercepts that pass. It was in tight, and it's cleared all the way. Fairman all alone. He goes to his right, a wide open net.
What a play by Fairman.
He showed off the wheels. Had it all alone, a wide open net behind Schwartz. Schwartz was trying to make that aggressive play. Obviously did not work for him. Now the score 2-1.
Did a great job of hustling after that puck. I mean, Fairman might not look like it because he's a tall guy, but he can move. And once he gets going to that top speed, you better watch out. He did a great job deking around him real quick there just before Schwartz got there, and it was an easy goal, just like an empty netter almost at that point.
Yeah, sort of galloping through the neutral zone. He beat his defenseman all the way through. Went straight to the backhand, wide open net, 2-1. Face off, won by the Crimson Hawks. Schmelzer has it down low. Donovan was unable to collect on the far side. Canisius with a little bit of pep in their step now. Kulowicz throws that shot to the left. Now Tudic has it. He's taking it up the left side. Swipes it all the way down low. Miola trying to be on the receiving end of that. We saw that work earlier. We saw that one-time shot off the pass on the boards by Tudic. Now he has it down low. Gets tied up with North. Now Donovan has it on that right side. Rierick off the glass. And now Miola, one-on-one the other way. Has some speed. He's looking for that trailing man. He elects to shoot. Fumbling puck in tight. Tudic collects the rebound and scores. 2 quick goals for the Crimson Hawks. 3-1 now the score.
And we quite literally were just talking about this last period. I think towards the end of the period, to be exact, about how when the shot is on the net for the Crimson Hawks, Canisius has to quickly gather it or get it out of there because there will be a Crimson Hawk crashing the net for a rebound. And case in point right there, one trickles through after a save, and somebody's there to poke it into the net with an easy goal.
Yeah, we saw Miola with the smart play there. He sort of slowed up on that rush and was looking for the trailing man. And there was Tudic was there to collect the rebound off the initial shot from Miola. That duo has certainly been very productive so far this year, and they're showing it off a little bit more there.
And, ironically, these 2 goals have come from breaks from IUP. They've just been able to kind of halt whatever Canisius is trying to set up. Case in point, a nice turnover and then leading to a break here again.
Adams takes it in deep. He's in that far corner, turns it around for Allwine trying to shoot it, but tying it up was LeBlanc. There's one in tight, a couple of guys getting chippy now. We see the tension starting to rise and starting to spill over there at the end of the first period. Certainly carrying now into the second. Johnson and LeBlanc in each other's faces. We know Johnson's a right fighter. He's back from injury. Last night he had a good night. He's still centering that Erie line that was coined by Joe Honzo. All 3 guys calling Erie, Pennsylvania their home. Jordan Adams, Spencer Johnson, Matthew Loza. That face-off won by Canisius. Swiped off the boards. Allwine trying to keep it in. He's unable to. He swipes it right back down into the zone. Now Collins uses the boards. There's another quick clear up high for Pagano. Pagano into the neutral zone. And now with some speed, Haskins trying to cut up the middle. He goes to the outside. Now Pagano down low. Wakaitis taking him to the wall. Johnson tying him up now as well. All line swoops in and picks it off. Now Filson has it. Here's that breakout pattern that we saw earlier. Now Wakaitis tried to collect, but Johnson has it. He swipes it back down into the zone. They're going to get a line change very quickly. Soy is now out. Gray, Hoffman, and Harvey now the forwards.
And Soy's going to gather it behind the net here, look for a way out.
And he's trying to hit
Gray.
Yeah, he was trying to hit Gray in stride. Was unable to do so. We saw Hoffman showing off the speed as well. Down there, now Maddox Rurick again off the boards, back into the zone. Harvey stick checking on the forecheck. Now Gray. It's dumped into the neutral zone. It was handled by Maddox Rurick, now with some reinforcements. He has it, tries to clear it again. Canisius doing their work there on the forecheck. Shot in tight, that was kicked away by Paremba. Hoffman, again using the boards, it's out of the zone now. Soy has it. The offside's hand is up. Now they're good after Canisius touches up. Trying to hit Gray and Harvey. They're both on that forecheck still.
And I think the Crimson Hawks' pace of play so far here is just halting Canisius's any chances they have.
Great defensive play by Maddox. Rare turnaround shot. The hand goes up. Paremba immediately held that post to the right. Did a great job going from left to right. I think high stick is the call. That's what they were signaling for, at least.
And that's something Paremba's really good at. I was watching him during warm-ups, Josh, and his ability to stay low and on the edge of his skates and kind of scoot from post to post on his pads is really something special to watch. He's able to keep any types of gaps closed on the ice.
You see the five out there: Schmelzer, Jace Rurick, Spencer Johnston, Owen Tudich, and Maddox Rurick. It's 2 minutes. Assessed to Canisius for the high stick. We'll add that to the graphic now.
And we'll see if the Hawks can take advantage of another power play. A quick one-timer off to the side. It's blocked.
Now Jace Rurick into the middle. He gives it back for his brother Maddox. That lane was clogged up by Depredina.
And I think that's what Canisius is going to look to do, is create a lot of traffic in front and hope it hits somebody on its way towards the net and have a chance to falter any shot opportunities from the Crimson Hawks.
Schmelzer spins around one man. He takes it in through the middle of the zone. He elects to shoot. There's a couple of sticks that sent it away. Now it's off the boards and kept in by Tudich. Tudich taking it to the right on the backhand.
Doing a great job of shielding it away from his opponent there.
And he cycles it up high for Jace Rurick. Rurick onto the right wing. He tries to target that 5-hole. There was no deflection inside. Now Schmelzer has it at the point. He's going to give it down low for Jace. Jace cycling it around the face-off dot. Back in the middle. Same exact look. He goes up high. Gloved away by Schwartz. A very nonchalant save by Schwartz as he was already down with his pads dropped. Of course, he speared it out of the air. There's 56 seconds to go on the power play.
Yeah, and the Golden Griffins are doing a great job of just holding a box formation there. None of them seem to be crashing too much on the outside. They just want the defenseman and anybody at the point to hold it and just get anything that comes inside out of the zone. As there's a win by the Crimson Hawks. Filson on the back with it. Past to Adams.
Down low, Malloy now. Malloy gives it for Miller on the left wing. Up high, Fairman has it at the point. Back to Miller, left wing. Down low, Malloy. One-touch passing certainly is crucial here during the power play. 36 and counting now. Hunter Fairman up high, looking for the deflection. It was off the pads. Another turnaround shot by Filson, handled by Schwartz. Miller now on the goal line. He takes one. The lane's eaten up.
And Fairman lost an edge there. That's just unfortunate.
Hunter Fairman down. He was trying to be on the receiving end of that pass. 18 seconds left in the power play. We get one last rush here. Now Fairman up the right side. He gives it for Filson. Filson taking it up the middle. He dishes it to Miller, who now takes it in on the left side.
It's going to look back for Fairman.
Yeah, Fairman at the point. He's tripped up, no call. He's taken to the glass. Now we're back to full strength.
Fairman passed the point.
There's a quick shot by Malloy. Finds the right post. There was some traffic in front. Somehow fumbled through just at the end of the power play. Now the score is 4-1.
And I was beginning to think that's what might happen with how Canisius was setting up for that penalty kill. They were setting a lot of guys in that middle and just looking to clog up the lane and create a lot of traffic. And when that happens, you get a shot that goes through like that, it's going to hit off somebody or someone or something and find the back of the net if you're not ready for it. And that's exactly what happened.
Now the center ice faceoff won by the Crimson Hawks. It's Harvey, Hoffman, and Gray for the forwards. Allwine and Lokaitis for the defenseman. Harvey uses the glass for Hoffman. Hoffman with some speed, tips it around one man. It's now down deep for the Crimson Hawks. He's taken to the glass still.
Amazing puck handling by Hoffman.
Tried to go back in with the backhand. It was off the pads of Schwartz and up into the netting.
Playing hard to get in the corner there. Nobody could touch him.
And we certainly know he's very agile, great at changing directions. Showing it off there. Still the same line of forward, same defenseman out there. 21-13 the shot counter currently sits for the Crimson Hawks. We're talking about how they were tied up at the intermission, and we were sort of predicting that the Crimson Hawks were going to come out swinging, you could say. Out of the first intermission, they've definitely done that. 3 unanswered goals so far. We're not even halfway through the second period. See a couple of guys getting jumpy on the draw. Now one by Hoffman, quick shot that was eaten up and gloved away by Schwartz. It was a sort of a face-off deke by Caleb Hoffman, who won it straight back for himself.
We might not even lost a second off the clock there,
Yeah,
Josh.
I'm not sure if we did. So another face-off won by Canisius. They try to clear, Hoffman being a pest in there, as well as Gray. Hoffman has it on that wall. He gives it down low for Gray. Gray sticking his man away. He maintains possession. He's on the glass now. Hoffman comes in and tries to take it away, but there was LeBlanc to hit him. Now up the right side.
Great work by Lokaitis.
Yeah, taken to the glass was Coogan. Lokaitis and Allwine tying up Coogan on the board. Coogan walks away with it, but Hoffman there to stick check it. Allwine gives it for Gray. There's a one-time shot from the point. It was stopped by the forward, Coogan. Now Coogan again in the neutral zone. Puck now slapped into the zone by Akulowicz. Back to collect is Paremba. He swipes it around, a wayward pass that was mishandled by Akulowicz. Now Harvey and Gray with the reverse hit was Harvey as he was trying to collect the puck. Harvey again with a hit on the blue line, no call. Stick checking. This line getting very physical. Is now someone's taken into the bench over there by Canisius. I'm not sure who was on the receiving end of it.
Lokaitis.
Yeah, it was Lokaitis as he was trying to leave the zone with the puck. Now Hoffman trying to feed Miola in the neutral zone. It was Josh Akulowicz that took Lokaitis into the bench. And certainly that last couple minutes there was getting chippy. A lot of very physical presences by the Crimson Hawks, a lot of big bodies, and they were showing it off. And as if the tension wasn't already at an all-time high for this game, it now is for sure. So now Canisius is going to see if they can answer. Face-off's won by the Crimson Hawks. Phobes trying to dump it down in deep. Tudich, that is, excuse me. Now loose puck collected by Donovan. He throws one to the left.
I'm liking the spacing so far by the Crimson Hawks here in the offensive end right now.
Miola tying his man up, a great stick tie. Miola maintains possession. Tudich now on the goal line. He tried to go in, but he fanned on the shot. Trying to spring LeBlanc. Now LeBlanc has it on the left side. Donovan does a great job defending that passing lane. He threw the stick down and chopped down the pass. Now Miola tying it up. On there, a quick shot from the point that was faked. Now on the right wing, another shot shouldered away by Paremba. There's a man on the ice by Canisius. Hand still up. Now it's touched by a Crimson Hawk and whistled down.
Calm down, fellas, calm down.
That is Tyler Hansen on the ice for the Golden Griffs. We'll see who sits for IUP.
Yeah, I think maybe he got that. I couldn't really tell. I wasn't paying too much attention there right in front of the net. But I think maybe he got tripped up or got hit pretty good just right in the center. Wind knocked out of him maybe.
Well, they're taking Jace Rierick to the box. It might be taking Miola as well for getting chippy after the call. We'll wait and see. It looks like Miola's just going to be escorted to the bench. Still, it's Haskins slow to get up. Excuse me, Hansen. He's now up skating off by his own will. It's always a great sight. I'm sure he'll be out in a couple shifts. Hockey players are always the toughest. And he'll take a moment to breathe. 2 minutes now assessed to the Crimson Hawks, and it's Jace Rearick that's doing the time.
And I think this will be Canisius' first power play of the day, right, Josh?
I believe so, yeah. We've seen 2 power plays, if I'm correct. I think 2 power plays by the Crimson Hawks. They're 1 for 2 so far. This is the first one for Canisius, the penalty kill. See that first unit out there. It's Fairman, Maddox, Rearick, Spencer Johnson, a great killer for this squad, and Zach Soy. And Canisius working out who their first power play unit's going to be. Now the puck is dropped, and it is won by Canisius. Now on the left side, North takes a shot in, shouldered away by Paremba, still fumbling around in the blue paint. Immediately cleared by Hunter Fairman. It's a great shoulder save by Shane Paremba.
And a great job by his fellow defenders in there to get in there and get the puck out of there while he was down on the ground.
He killed 20 seconds off the penalty. Now swiped around and reversed the boards by Canisius. Goodwin down low and swiped away for another clear. And Soy and Fairman are going to head off. They're going to try and get some new personnel. Now Schmelzer on. Chase Malloy is on as well. Now mishandled pass. Malloy has it in his own zone. He's just going to take the time to dump it straight back in, kill off a little bit more time on the power play. Miller still on the forecheck. We'll cycle through. Now Malloy trying to interrupt again. Now coming through center ice is a Kulowicz. He's going to give it back up high to his defenseman. Kulowicz down into the middle, North on the left wing. He's going to shoot. There's a no-look shot that was handled by Paremba. Donovan trying to clear it out, but it's held in. Now North again for the tip. Another close-in shot. Backhander, 2 of them by North. Then a great clear by Malloy to allow Paremba to get back to his crease. 3 close-in looks by Canisius. That's certainly a great kill for the last couple 15 seconds or so by Paremba and his penalty kill unit.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this is the first time tonight we've really seen Paremba tested in that with multiple shots put on in a sequence of shots at least. But he's stood tall, and the defense has been there to help him out.
We saw North with a couple of backhand tries in succession, I should say. Now on the right wing, they find 23 shouldered away by
Another
Paremba.
Great save.
Yeah, they're targeting that upper corner, and of course Paremba's getting those shoulders over. That was Haskins that shot that.
And a shot, and scores off a quick turnover from the goaltender Schwartz. Hoffman picks it up and throws it in the back of the net. I haven't seen that in a while. Wow.
Yeah, we see another aggressive play by Schwartz that was obviously not successful for him. We saw it earlier with Hunter Fairman. Another one turned around by Miola. As now it looks like they're going to get another goaltender ready to go, and they're going to swap them out. Now the score 5-1.
And what a period for the Crimson Hawks so far. And there's still 9 minutes left to go, Josh. And they've already got 4 goals on the period now. And they're just going to keep piling it on if the Canisius Golden Griffins don't do something about it here quickly. And we're going to get a quick tender switch here.
Yeah, we'll see. It's LaPierre, I believe, back in the game. We saw him last night. Face-off won by the Hawks back into the neutral zone.
And yeah, some of those shots that, or some of those have been maybe the tender's fault that was in that for Canisius. Some of those might have been his fault, but other times the Crimson Hawks have just picked apart the Golden Griffins defense and found a way to just get good opportunities.
Now the Crimson Hawks on the forecheck. Allwine tips it into the zone. The Kite is back to collect. They'll throw it off the boards. On the receiving side is Bandolian. There's a shot in close. It was a short angle shot by Bandolian that was handled by Paremba. So the net came off of its pegs and was whistled down immediately. 4 unanswered goals for the Crimson Hawks. We talked about the offensive pressure. Once it, when it rains, it pours for the Crimson Hawks. They just need to kick start that 1 goal and get it rolling. They've done just that.
Yeah, every goal seems to just refill their energy tanks, it seems like.
Now a close-in look by North. He takes a turnaround shot, missed wide. Intercepted pass by Jace Rierick. Have an odd man rush going the other way if they hurry. There's Tudich trying to receive it and take it in. He's tied up. Now coming down to the left side is Canisius. All alone, a shot in tight. Handled by Paremba. Amazing 2 close-in looks by Moose. As now there was a late shot that, of course, the Crimson Hawks are not going to take too kindly of. The hands up. We're going to see some penalties assessed.
Yeah, and they we keep talking about it. We keep talking about it almost every game there, Josh. But if there's any type of extra hits on our tenders, that being the Crimson Hawks in the net after a blown dead call or a frozen puck, you will see fellow Crimson Hawk defenders and forwards alike coming and retaliating pretty quickly.
You know, it was Bandolian with that close-in initial shot. Paremba smothered that chance. And then the rebound that was, and the puck was already frozen. And it was North, I believe, that was trying to get that rebounded shot in. That was considered late by the Crimson Hawks. So we'll see Tudich head to the box for the Crimson Hawks. Nobody yet for Canisius. We'll see if that changes here shortly. 8:08 here in the second period. We're over halfway through the game. Still 5-1 the score. We'll see if this is a 2-minute penalty or a 5-minute penalty.
Yeah, it seems to be quite the deliberation over there in the middle of the ice by the 2 officials.
As they work it out, we'll take a look at where the Crimson Hawks are going to be here in the coming weeks. Next weekend, they're off for IUP homecoming. So certainly the forwards, the defensemen, the goaltenders will be very grateful of the break that they'll have. And
yeah, the boys have been playing pretty hard.
Yeah. And of course, we're still in league play here before we get ready for conference play. That's when the games get fun, as Coach Gavin Cummings mentioned. And after that bye week, they'll head to Syracuse University and then Buffalo University. 2 back-to-back weekends in upstate New York for the Hawks.
Same vicinity,
yeah,
really.
We'll hit the road. Certainly, they've already proved themselves on the road so far. 2-0 against Rutgers University last weekend. We'll see how they handle those other 2 squads up north. As it's 2 minutes, assessed to Owen Tudich. We'll see a 5-on-4 penalty kill here for the Crimson Hawks. It's Fairman, Johnston, Soy, and Rierick out there. Maddox Rierick, that is, for the first penalty kill unit. There's a puck being dropped now. It's won by the Crimson Hawks. Soy back to collect. He's going to get the clear all the way up. North was trying to pick that corner off. Lofted it all the way down to the other side of the ice. Now here's Canisius' second attempt here on the power play.
Yeah, let's see if the Golden Griffins can get something going here. Down by 4, they need at least 1, especially during this power play. There's a quick stop by Paremba.
It was North on that left wing. He's sort of been targeting those no-look shots. I've seen a couple from him alone on that left wing. He threw another one on there that didn't leave the ice. Of course, Paremba loves those ones. Minute 35 still on the penalty kill for the Crimson Hawks. 23-20, the shot counter currently sits in favor of IUP. And the draw to the right of Paremba, won by the Crimson Hawks. Maddox Rierick clears. And just try to bat it around by Hoffman. A shot in tight that was missed to the right from the point by North. Now LeBlanc on the goal line, and Miller's going to throw it off the glass all the way back down with some help from the official. It's going to slow the puck down and kill a couple more seconds off that penalty clock. It's now Hoffman, Schmelzer, Maddox Rierick, and Shane Miller out there.
Looking at it from up here, Josh, I think if the Golden Griffins are going to have any chance at getting some shots on goal during this power play, they need to catch them right now while the Hawks aren't even set up.
Yeah, it was a great keep by North. There's a look in tight by the Griffs. I was trying to find North on the back door. Now Bowen has it on that right wing. Slides it to the left for Akulowicz. Caleb Akulowicz, that is. He dances it in. Now Goodwin on the goal line. Goodwin to Akulowicz. Close-in shot, trying to find North on the back door. The lane was eaten up by Schmelzer. Akulowicz down low. He spins off of Rierick and gives it up for Goodwin. Goodwin down low. He's looking in the middle. Akulowicz on the left. He tried to go on that left post, and the puck rolled across the crossbar. Now Josh Kulowicz up high, one-timer that was faked. Another close-in shot targeting the left post by Kulowicz. Missed to the left. 15 seconds to go till we're back to full strength.
Paremba's doing a great job shutting down these hard angles.
Goodwin was trying to find a Kulowicz up high. The puck leaves the zone. The Kulowicz brothers now playing catch. It's dumped in, and that'll be the remainder of that penalty assessed to Owen Tudich. We're back to full strength now. Great kill by that unit. 6 minutes to go here in the second period. Tudich right out of the penalty box and ready to go. Now Sean Donovan has it in the neutral zone. Over to Schmelzer. Schmelzer trying to hit Adams in open ice. Excuse me, Tudich. That went up and out of play.
What a deflection. That was kind of cool to watch. That was a line drive right on out of the play.
That was a hard pass by Schmelzer. He's trying to hit that tape to tape right at center ice.
It was a great idea. I mean, he was going the other way while that puck was going towards him. That deflection, I mean, if he had a little bit less juice on it, it would have been perfectly into the back end of Canisius's end there.
Canisius, as you said it, got it in deep there. Now Tudich trying to clear on the receiving end. French
hit off to the side by Jace Rierick.
Now Miola and Tudich the other way. We saw this connection earlier. Miola takes it wide. He shoots up high and misses high. Now Lakaitis trying to keep it in. He fans on it. Coming up the left side, LeBlanc. He'll take it up into the middle. Amazing stick check by Jace Rierick to intercept that pass. It's thrown off the glass and up and out of the zone. It's cleared down and low by Canisius as they're whistling for offsides. Calling for offsides, I should say. Now Tudich takes it into the zone. Tries to hit Miola on that right wing. He'll take it up at the point. Dump it down in deep for Tudich. Loose puck in the middle of the ice. Soy on the point. Gives it to Donovan. Donovan throws one in looking for traffic. It was handled by LaPierre. And the hand was up. We saw Moose skating to the bench very quickly to try and get that extra man on. We'll wait and see what the call is here. And who sits for Canisius.
Yeah, I didn't even pick up that there was a penalty call or a waiting penalty call until, like you said, I saw Moose out of the corner of my eye bolting towards the bench. He was moving pretty quick. I didn't think big guy back there could skate like that, but I think he could compete with some of these guys out here in full pads.
He was moving for sure, trying to get that extra man on. It's Depredina that's going to sit for the Crimson Hawks. Excuse me, for Canisius. We'll see another power play attempt here for the Crimson Hawks. Now Fairman has it up high. He's going to dust it off a couple times and hit Malloy on the one-timer. He missed way high. And now Fairman keeps it into the zone. He trips up a man. The hand immediately goes up. We're going to see some 4-on-4 play here. It was North that had a lot of open ice. Certainly he was drooling over that opportunity, but Fairman tripped it up, and we're going to see 4-on-4.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate for Fairman there. He was just trying to chop at the puck and get it out, but I mean, he closed off any type of way for Canisius's player to get down the ice. I mean, it was a quintessential trip, if you will.
So for 1 minute and 39 seconds, we'll see 4-on-4. And then for the remaining 20 seconds or so, it will be a 5-on-4 power play. Of course, barring a goal for either team. A lot of open ice to work with. Johnson has it down low. Now Kulowicz keeps it in. A bouncing puck in tight. A couple of bodies ran into Paremba. I think they're going to call for a high stick as it was a very high puck as well. Paremba had to stand straight up to stop that one. It killed about 10 seconds off the penalty clock.
And Josh, I don't think the Crimson Hawks will mind too much having a 4-on-4 play with how aggressive they are, how quickly they move, and how well they move the puck between all of them.
Yeah, we see Schmelzer, Johnston, Adams, and Donovan, the current 4 out there. That's one straight back for Canisius. Now they're using the ice. A quick shot patted away by Paremba. Another turnaround that was right into his leg pads. He didn't even need to stand up. Just stayed on the ice and stopped that turnaround shot by Kulowicz. Killed another 10 seconds off the penalty. 1:16 to go here on an initial penalty assessed to Canisius.
And that on top of that, 3:58 remaining in this game, and the shot counter is now even. 23 for the Hawks and 23 for the Golden Griffins.
Face-off was tied up and won by Canisius.
Great play by
the other way. Malloy all alone. He's dancing with a lot of speed. Goes to the backhand, stopped by LaPierre.
He did a great job maintaining possession past that save there.
And now Miller has it down low, fighting for it. Donovan at the left point. Now Schmelzer takes it into the right wing, dances around one man. And he hits Malloy in the deep corner. 53 and counting on the first penalty. Now Miller fighting for it on that backboard. Tied up is Malloy as well. He hits Schmelzer in tight. He tried to target up high. And was patted away by LaPierre. A couple of loose sticks on the ice. As North goes back to collect it now. Now Schmelzer takes it around one man. Somehow batted that back down for himself.
And we saw what he did last time when he was going in 2v1.
Yeah. Now Canisius swept it away from Malloy. And now Miller with some speed. He has Malloy trailing. He gives it for Malloy. Malloy goes to the right wing, misses to the right. It's batted down by Miller. Miller has it down low. He tries to hit Soy on the point. There's a wayward pass, and now Canisius has it. 10 seconds to go on that penalty. Sticked away by Matt.
Great poke check by Rierick. Wow.
Fantastic display of defense by 2-4. Now Jace Rierick gives it up for his brother Maddox. A tip in.
What a shot.
By Miller, kept in by LaPierre.
Even
fumbling
better
puck
save.
in close. There are a couple of punches thrown after the whistle, and a couple of guys taken to the ice. They're going to sort this one out now with 18 seconds to go for a 5-on-4 power play for Canisius.
And somebody pulled Rierick pretty hard down to the ice there. Jace Rierick, that would be, not Maddox. But there were two guys on him after the whistle there, and they pulled him down pretty hard to the ice. And I'd be surprised to see if nobody goes to the box here.
Still the officials sorting some things out. We've seen Tudich go to the box already tonight. And he's certainly sticking up for his boys, the rookie. Looks like Jace Rierick is heading to the box. Nobody for Canisius, which certainly the IUP faithful is not happy about that.
And I mean, I kind of have to agree with him after watching up here, Josh. Rierick had, okay.
Yeah, we stand corrected now. Now there's a man taken to the box. It's Luke White, I believe, for Canisius.
And that was the guy that drug Rierick down over there just to the right of LaPierre. So a little bit justified now. I understood where this whole home audience was coming from as we saw Rierick only going to the bench. But now that we see a little bit of justice, eye for eye served.
So those are both going to be coincidental. And we're going to see 4-on-4 play here. Not sure for how long. It's actually going to be 5-on-4. I stand corrected. So those two penalties are coincidental, and there will be no penalty clock for those. So it'll be 5-on-4 for 18 seconds.
Yep, and then we're waiting on Fairman. Fairman's, if you witness over there, he's clearly waiting too. He's anxious to get out of that box.
And he's itching to get back on the ice. There's a shot taken by Lekomsky from the left wing. It missed high. Now North down low. Cycling it up high.
And here comes Fairman.
Fairman's back in. Akulowicz, the pass was intercepted by Maddox Rierick. Fairman right off the rush. Threw one in tight, and now Fairman in tight. Shoots one in, he finds the back. Yeah, there was a fumbling puck, and they're still getting chippy after it. There was an initial shot by Malloy that was rebounded off. And certainly the tensions are spilling over now, as there's been a couple of fights at the last couple of whistles. But currently the goal stands for Hunter Fairman. I believe that's his second of the game, and it makes the score 6-1.
And talk about right place, right time. That penalty clock expired. He came up out of that penalty box and was really in the middle of the ice waiting for his Crimson Hawks offense to bring the puck up the ice, which they were a split second later, and he was there. And a great first shot for a rebound, and he got a quick one right after.
And we saw two men escorted off the ice for Canisius. So their nights are most likely over. And you can see if anybody is escorted for the Crimson Hawks. And of course, it's none other than Nathan Miola. He's done for the night. As the Crimson Hawks are going to continue their goal celebration. That's Hunter Fairman that notched the last one. 6-1 now the score.
And you have to assume that a lot of this frustration comes from just the simple fact that no matter what they try, they haven't had any success against the Crimson Hawks. And yet the Crimson Hawks seem to just be able to run right by them. Not even joking, they've just been skating around the Golden Griffins, both today and yesterday.
Yeah, so we've seen a couple of skaters go down for both squads. We saw 2 escorted off by Canisius, and then Loza down for an injury, and Miola just now escorted off. So both teams down 2 skaters. We'll see how head coaches Joe Hanzo and, of course, the head coach for Canisius adjust to these changes. 27-23 now the shot counter sits for the Crimson Hawks.
And I think now they're just figuring out what it's going to be in the scorebook.
Yeah, we'll see how that gets sorted out. I believe that there's not going to be any penalties. Nobody's going to have to serve any penalties there as they were taken off the ice. It looks like there are 5 for each squad. So we'll wait and see how that goes into the score sheet. Seen some great play by Paremba as now some skaters go down to give him some love. He stood tall. It's now 5 unanswered goals by the Crimson Hawks. That's 5 unanswered. Now the officials are done with their conversation now. Both squads getting their explanations.
You see Miller, the captain, over there talking with the officials.
Still sorting it out.
Matthew, I ain't got nothing from you yet. You hear me? I don't think you hear me. I know you hear me.
Still both squads waiting for an explanation to see who was sent off for what reason, obviously fighting. But there is a 2-minute penalty up on the board assessed to the Crimson Hawks, so we're going to see 5 on 4. Yeah, we'll see a penalty kill for the Crimson Hawks. Now the puck's dropped, we're back to play. And after all of the conversation,
and a quick turnover.
Fighting, yeah, Caleb Hoffman the other way. He gives it up for Malloy. It was a missed pass. Now both squads still going after it. Malloy getting physical. Now up the left side of Kulowicz. He's going to turn it around and try to find his partner down low. They go in tight. Paremba holds the post and actually holds it too well when it slides off the peg. But he stopped that initial shot that he faced. 1:36 on the penalty. Now at the dot. Malloy wins it straight back for all line. He tried to get the clear. Stopped by Kulowicz. He now has it on the left wing. Now up high, LeBlanc. In tight, stopped by Paremba. Another
What
one
a
in
save! What another save by Paremba! My goodness!
Kulowicz on the right side. Saw 2 close-in shots, and he held both of them tall. Now at the point. Shot right into the chest of Paremba. Didn't even have to, take a breath. I knew he had that one handled. 1:13 now on the penalty clock.
Back to Canisius, buddy.
There's a couple of looks in there by Canisius.
Moose has looked so good in net so far tonight, Josh. He's handling everything so well, and he seems to be seeing it well, too, even through the traffic.
Face-off won by the Crimson Hawks, but Coogan collects it on the boards. Schmelzer going to tie it up, and he gets the clear into the neutral zone. It was caught by Joshua Kulowicz, that is. Bandolian had it, and Miller takes him to the glass. A huge booming
Oh, and then
hit.
Miller's tripped up on the end with another check and no call.
Yeah, they're cross-checking each other in the neutral zone, but in tight there was a shot that was off the stick of a Kulowicz, handled by Paremba. Miller with some fire now. He's fighting for that puck. And it's cleared up and out of the zone and into the rafters, matter of fact. 47 to go on the game clock. Miller's, it's one of the reasons he's got the C on his chest this year. He's not really one of those guys that gets into skirmishes like that after the play. But of course, if he believes he was victim to a penalty that he didn't get a call for, he's going to make it known. So he's staying out on the ice. He's certainly getting gritty there in those last couple seconds.
And he's one of those players that's very easy to draw, very easily can draw a penalty against the other team, just because of the fact he plays so chippy and so aggressive, and he's able to maintain possession of the puck so well.
One straight back by Canisius. A shot in close, and the lane was stopped by Spencer Johnston. Schmelzer trying to take it out of the zone. And still sticking away Spencer Johnson. He gets the clear. Here's Miller. Now the other way with some speed. He's looking for the trailing man. He doesn't have it. He's going to take it to the outside. He's taken to the ice, and the hand goes up. Finally, he gets justice for the penalties that he was receiving. relentlessly in the neutral zone. Finally, he took that shot and was tripped up. And they're going to take somebody for Canisius.
And ironically, we just talked about it. He's able to draw those penalties, and he shields the puck beautifully like that. And like we talked about, I think it was last game or maybe it was at Rutgers, but when you shield the puck like that, with like a lot of these Crimson Hawks do, these defenders have no choice but to end up slashing or hooking or just eventually tripping you up because they can't get to it.
Huge reverse hit by Donovan. We've seen him do that a couple times. There's a shot up high, handled by LaPierre. A couple seconds killed off the clock. So he was trying to receive that puck and sat his man straight down. We'll see another draw here in Canisius' zone. 29-26, the shot counter in favor of the Crimson Hawks. 14 to go on that penalty.
And it's stuck between the official's legs there after the face-off.
They're going to bat it away. And now behind his own net is the Kulowicz. And gives it to Lekomsky. Lekomsky trying to advance the puck, but Schmelzer stood him up. And Paremba was staring up at the clock. I think he thought there was less time on the clock. He was going to skate the rest of it out, but didn't realize he had a man trailing and he was eager for the puck. But with that, the Hunter Fairman penalty is now over, and we'll see 5-on-4 power play for the Crimson Hawks for 1 minute and 32 seconds.
Yeah, Paremba had me a little worried there. I looked up and I saw blue and yellow coming down pretty quick, and he still had a hold of the puck, but it's a good thing that they were able to freeze it up, and we'll get a win here.
There's 2.1 seconds in the second period. The faceoff's going to be down in the Crimson Hawks zone. Will be 5-on-4. We'll see who the fifth man for the Crimson Hawks is. Still, they have 4 out there. I believe the penalty clock is actually wrong because it's 5-on-4 for Canisius. Either way, puck was immediately dropped and the timer expired. And what a period, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, complete fireworks. I mean, these guys just are relentless. We keep saying that. I mean, it's the perfect adjective to describe this team, though. When they get going, they don't let off the gas pedal until the end of the third period. Not the end of the first, not the end of the second, at the end of the third. That's when you'll see them let off as they cruise to a victory. And they seem to be set up pretty well going into the third here, Josh.
Yeah, great display of Hawks hockey there. We entered the second period tied up at 1. We now leave the second period 6-1 lead for the Crimson Hawks. So we certain to bring you the third period here with a couple of men off the ice, a couple of ejections, and a lot of high energy hockey for the IUP Hockey Network. I'm Josh Yates with Alex Duffalo. Welcome back to the third frame of action here against, IUP Crimson Hawks versus the Canisius Golden Griffins. We saw a fruitful second period for IUP, 5 goals for them. So now the score currently sits 6-1, a couple of ejections as well. Miola now out. There's a couple of brawls and a very physical second period, you could say. With that, 6-1 the score. We're starting off, I believe, shorthanded. Canisius should be 5-on-4, but it looks like it's full strength right now. There is penalty time on the board. There's a Kulowicz trying to sneak one past the officials and stay on the ice. So it will be 5-on-4 for 1 minute and 30 seconds. We're right back here into the third period of play.
Play over to Jace Rierick here onto the side. He's moving up pretty quickly. Might have a shot. Chooses to preserve it and pass back to Smeltzer at the point.
Back to Jace on the left wing. Jace circling it through. He goes down low for Spencer Johnson in tight. He sort of had a look. I think if he would have shot it himself, he would have had a pretty good opportunity, but he was looking for the trailing man.
Yeah,
either way.
Definitely looking past first there.
And Jace Rierick has one. Again, for the deflection, Spencer Johnson was trying to get it. LaPierre was well out of his crease. We've seen some aggressive plays from him so far that resulted in 2 goals for the Crimson Hawks. Now, Schmelzer has him tied up. Miller comes to collect.
Moving up the ice pretty quickly here.
With some speed, he enters in on the right side, throws on the brakes around one man. He's dancing in and out. He throws along the boards for Malloy. Malloy collects it and he gives it back to Filson, who is now up on that top line. 26 seconds to go on the power play for the Hawks. Malloy down low. He's going to trade spots with Miller and give it to Fairman up high. Malloy in the left wing, cross ice. He was trying to get Filson. Filson one-time shot right into the chest of LaPierre. 13 to go on the power play for the Hawks.
Great puck movement so far in this power play by the Hawks too. I'm liking watching them going from behind the net and passing it up to the point, making the Golden Griffins defense move around and have to swivel their heads around too.
It's won by Adams. Adams circling that right wing. He shoots in tight, fumbling puck with the deflection. Now Miller collects it on the other side and he gives it to Fairman up at the point. Filson's going to head off the ice. They're going to get one more back on. It's now full strength. One-time shot by Malloy was missed. And now Fairman at the point. Shoots one in high. Missed to the left. Lakaitis at the blue line. He bats it back down in deep. Now Canisius trying to break out. Coming up with some speed, and it was a mishandled pass. They have the icing call. We'll be back down into Canisius' zone. 18-11 to go in the game.
And we'll see if the Hawks can do something here off this face-off draw. Last time we saw Hoffman taking a face-off in the offensive end, he had a quick win and a quick shot.
Ties it straight up. It is won by Canisius. Now coming up the right side is Haskins. He chips it behind Lakaitis. It was handled by Paremba. Now Hoffman has it on that wing. He's avoiding that defenseman and the forechecker. Now Gray has it in center ice. Gray on the left side. He opens up the hips and tried to find Hoffman trailing. That was Haskins right up the middle. He's going to chip it back down into the zone. They're going to whistle it down for icing again. Canisius still having trouble setting up in the offensive zone. That layered forecheck for the Crimson Hawks just sort of can't find an answer for it. Just keep it simple with that. They can't find an answer for it.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job of trying more to push into the Crimson Hawks offensive end, that is being the Golden Griffins, but like you said, they just keep getting stopped. The Crimson Hawks adjust so well to any type of change you make.
And they're winning those loose puck battles. We saw it last night. Now a loose puck that is won by Haskins, a quick shot that was off the shoulder of Paremba and up into the netting. Haskins showing off that speed. He's been sort of the key contributor to those last couple rushes for Canisius. So he heads off the ice now.
Yeah, he got to that puck pretty quick. He could move.
He just went right around Lakaitis, one of those big-bodied defensemen that Joe Hanzo brought in the offseason. We see a face-off to the left of Paremba. He's done a great job here tonight as well. 27 shots faced so far, only letting in one. A lot of close-in, high-intensity looks. Now with some speed, Jordan Adams takes it into the zone. Right to go back, Filson touches up, no offsides. Dump it down in deep, Filson on the forecheck, he keeps it in. He finds Adams on the right wing. Filson taking the glass. Adams tying him up, he's taken to the ice as well. Some more physicality brought in by Canisius. A great stick check by Filson, and another one by Maddox Rurik. Soy back to Maddox. Maddox off the boards, is intercepted by North in the neutral zone, swiped back down into the Hawk zone. Maddox Rurik has it, looking up the ice, trying to find a man. He goes around one man, up the right side with some speed. He throws it off the boards, reverses it for Gavin Filson if he can beat it there. He ties it up. Jace Rurik picks it away. Canisius takes it right back, but now a wayward pass found by Tudich. LaPierre's going to swipe it back behind his own net. Again, there's Tudich on that forecheck. Pagano. Caleb Hoffman finds it. Jace Rurik picks it away from Hoffman's feet. Pagano in the neutral zone, back up the ice.
Great work by Hoffman to stay on him there.
Yeah, on the back check, there's a close-in look as well as Tudich with the stick check. Now tied up at the blue line. Sean Donovan finds Hoffman on the right side. So he's going to take it into the zone, cut up right into the middle, and he's going to try and find a hit Tudich on that left wing. And now Hoffman has it on the left wing. Donovan one-timer, deflection by Phobes. Almost found that back net. It was ramped up by LaPierre. They found the netting on the glass. Of course, they wanted to find the other netting, that being the goal.
And that was great positioning by Tudich there. I mean, he almost tipped it right in. And that was, I mean, he had the angle right, just got a little underneath of it. We're about to have a draw here just to the right of LaPierre. Won by Crimson Hawks and tossed back to the point and swung around the back. Malloy on it.
He's giving chase. Miller in there to collect as well. He's going to try and swipe it back for Malloy, but Canisius has it, and they have an odd man rush going the other way. But Miller was on that back check. Tried to swipe it in for the clear, but Schmelzer kept it in. It's handled by IUP now. Donovan gives it to Fairman. Fairman's just going to slow it up. And reverse the boards all the way around. It looks like Malloy's on the receiving end of it. He takes a hit into the half boards. Now Miller in tight. Fairman turnaround shot, hit off the iron. It's Haskins throwing it off the backboard. Malloy with some speed, trying to collect, but now Schmelzer has it in the neutral zone. So he gives it to Miller. Miller enters on the left side. He drops it off for Fairman. Fairman trying to target that right post. It was padded by LaPierre. Fairman bats it down and gloves it to himself to keep it in the zone.
That was terrific work by Fairman to keep it in the end.
Lakaitis has it at the opposing blue line. He tries to hit Miller on the other blue line. And now here's Allwine. Takes it in the left side. He's trying to find somebody trailing on that back door. Nobody was home.
Tied up on the boards here. And a lot of blue and yellow, but Gray seems to be holding his own here pretty well, actually.
Still tied up. We have 14:37 to go here in the third period. Harvey trying to dance around a couple guys. Now Gray's just going to swipe it back down into the zone. Harvey on that forecheck. We mentioned it earlier, Loza out with an injury, so Harvey bumping up from the defensive end and now filling in that fourth line forward spot. Now all alone on the right side is Canisius. And that was Akulowicz. It's now tied up on that far corner. Miller involved, Hoffman involved. Gray and Harvey now playing catch. Kulowicz on the left side. Comes in on close by Paremba, but he kicked it away. Still behind the net. Gray tries to clear it out, but it's held at the blue line. A shot in and up into the netting. There was a deflection in close. I think it was Lakaitis that tipped it up and out of play. 13:51 to go here in the third period.
And that was one of the best chances we've seen so far for the Golden Griffins in this game. They usually aren't getting a lot of time to handle the puck in the offensive end and set up a shot, and opportunity thrown away there, but we'll see if they can get another one.
Face off won by Canisius and sticked away by Paremba, a quick shot. They're trying to target that low slot. Crimson Hawks
here goes Adams.
Logging it up. Yeah, Adams on the right side with some speed, cuts in the middle, loses handle of the puck. It's now on the close boards. Spencer Johnson spikes it right back in. Now Pagano is going to take it out of the zone. Up the right side, he's going to give it off to his partner in the middle, but it's picked off by Adams. Still, Pagano has control. Adams turns it around for Filson. Collins Glove save by Paremba, but he's going to drop it right back down and keep the play going. Pagano was just trying to get a dump so that they could get a line change, but it was right at Paremba. Now Adams has it, and he's going to take it in on the left. He has Spencer Johnson trailing, tried to toe drag around Collins. Was unable to do so. Johnson tying him up on the back glass. Now Filson finds it, throws a quick shot on. It was off the pads of LaPierre. Now French trying to take it out, but it was stick checked by Filson, and Adams has it now. He's going to dump it right back in. The stop by LaPierre was the fumbling puck. Pagano tips it back down. And both squads are going to get a line change as they ice that, or they're going to try to at least, but they're going to whistle it down as icing.
Well, now they don't have to really worry about making it a rushed effort. Everybody can skate leisurely back to the bench.
We have Hoffman, Jace Rearick, and Owen Tudich for the forwards. And it's Soy and Maddox Rearick at the blue line. Face-off won by Canisius. Finds Pagano on the left wing. Rearick has it in center ice now, and they're going to get a quick change out. Let's see if the Hawks can capitalize.
They're about to take advantage of it, Josh.
Maddox Rearick with some speed throws one on. Stick saved by LaPierre. It was a loud stick save. It sounded like it might have cracked from up here. Hoffman fans on the pass for Phobes, but now in tight, Rearick has it, trying to hit Phobes, trailing on that back post. Now Rearick has it on the right wing. He's going to backhand it for his brother at the point. Now on the left side, Tudich has it down low.
I don't mind the setup they're going for here, Josh. They seem to be setting up something nice or a good shot opportunity.
Yeah, there's space in the ice for sure. Now the other way, Haskins, we've seen the speed. He's going to show it off there as he works around Maddox. Rearick tries to at least. Maddox closes the gap. He's taken to the boards and tripped up, but no call. Now Canisius has it with a little bit of effort. One-timer in close. Blocked the lane. It was Zach Soy with the shot block. Now he has it in the corner. He uses the boards for himself. Maddox Rearick tips it up into the neutral zone. They're going to get a line change. 11:30 to go here in the third. Up the right side, North. He tries to go around Maddox Rearick, unable to do so. Seems to be a common theme.
Yeah, he does a great job of shutting it down early. He doesn't let them get much space to work with. He gets to the point and gets on top of the puck quick.
Now they're going up the left side of Kulowicz. Picked away by Hunter Fairman. He has some speed, dancing in and out. Tries to chip it to Miller. Miller had to bat it down. He's taken down to the ice, shoots in the process. The puck went to the left. Now up the right side is LeBlanc. He's trying to get around Sean Donovan. Does not do so. He takes him to the ice. Now Hunter Fairman coming up with some speed. He has Miller on his left. Hunter Fairman takes it into the middle and drops it off for Miller. Now Miller on the right wing. He's going to backhand it to Fairman. He's unable to chop it down. Now Malloy has it. He tries to backhand Fairman. Fairman sticked away and tied up. Now Canisius is trying to break out. Cutting up right up the middle is Goodwin. Goodwin trying to split the D. He's pushed to the outside. A low percentage shot was missed to the right. Fairman taken down, but Schmelzer
Great stick lift by, yeah.
He's still dancing around him. Now Sean Donovan has it. He tries to spring Hunter Fairman. We saw that in the works. Hunter Fairman was going up the right side and calling for it with his stick. That would have been a home run pass that we've seen work a couple of times. We're unable to connect on that one. Now the Hawks trying to establish in the zone, cannot do so. Quinn Collins coming up through center ice. He cuts into the middle. Hunter Fairman taking to the ice, back behind the play. A couple of bodies hitting the ice. Great stick check by Allwine. The hand is up and it's whistled down. There was a whole mess of things going on there.
Yeah, I was having a hard time following.
There's a couple of hits behind the play, a couple of hits at the play. We'll see who sits, but I believe it's going to be Quinn Collins that is serving that penalty for Canisius. We'll get another look here at the power play for the Crimson Hawks.
And we'll see if they can tack on more. Again, up 5 so far, and just past halfway through this period, 9:52 remaining, and a 2-minute power play. And yeah, let's see if the Hawks can do something with it.
One straight back for Jace Rearick. He's going to give it to his brother Maddox on the left wing. Now at the point. Slides it to Tudich on the right wing. Schmelzer at the high point now. One-timer by Jace Rearick and speared out of midair by LaPierre. Wasn't really a clean shot by Jace. It was a fumbling pass over. Of course, if that puck was on the ice, it would have been monster of a rip off the stick of Jace Rearick.
Yeah, he was shaking his head. He was a little let down by it, but he'll get another opportunity to let one rip towards the net.
Schmelzer at the point. He gives it up for Tudich on the right wing. He's going to dump it back for Schmelzer again. Schmelzer hands it off down low for Johnston. Now Schmelzer right wing. Phobes at the point. He's going to give it back to Schmelzer right wing. He takes the shot, shouldered away by LaPierre. It looks like there might have been a hand pass in there, no call though. Now joining the rush the other way. There's a shot in, lasered in by Canisius. It was handled by Taremba. And stops the clock, 1:25 to go on that penalty. 9:17 in the game. Shot counter currently sits 44-32 in favor of the Crimson Hawks.
Yeah, and the Hawks, I mean, already putting on more shots than they did in the whole game yesterday. I think yesterday they ended with either 41 or 42 shots, so they're consistently putting up 40 shots on goal games, and it's impressive to watch, Josh. It really is.
Down low, Fairman has it in his own zone. There's 1:15 to go.
Great
Miller
fake.
goes around one man. Gives it for Filson, who's going to take it into the zone. Going to give it to Adams up high, who's going to cycle the boards over to Malloy on the right side. Filson has it down low again. Backhands it to Miller left wing. Up to Hunter Fairman up high. He's going to give it to Miller. Trying to look for that perfect shot. Hunter Fairman has it at the point. Miller left wing. He fakes a couple shots. He elects to shoot, but it was blocked by Depredina. Stays in the zone. Fairman at the point. He hands it to Miller on the left wing. Tries to hit Adams at the bumper roll. A slow sliding puck almost found the back of the net, but it was kicked away by LaPierre. Now it's glued to that back corner. Puck escapes, and Miller now has it on the backboards. Adams coming to help. Malloy comes away with it. He's going to throw it off the boards for Hunter Fairman
Look to
up
swing
high.
it wide to Miller.
Hunter Fairman elects to shoot. That's sticked up off the glass behind the net. Now Miller on the left wing. He gives it to Filson back behind. There's Malloy on the right wing. We hear Hunter Fairman calling for it up high. Filson has it behind the net. He goes all the way through the center. Miller on the left wing now. Tried to go to the 5-hole, but it was sticked away by LaPierre.
Yeah, great save by LaPierre there. Great. The Hawks had awesome puck movement there, and Miller had a great opportunity there too, wide open. But LaPierre, like you mentioned, great save.
See Malloy playing keep away. We're back to 5-on-5 play now. 7:39 as it's now whistled down. 7:39 to go in the third period. See that fourth line of forwards, it's Gray, Hoffman, and Harvey, backed by Allwine and Lakaitis. See the draw to the left of LaPierre.
Now with how we ended that second period, Josh, with at least the last like 7 minutes of it, I expected this period to be a whole lot more aggressive and chippy, but they seem to be playing reserved on both sides, keeping their emotions under control.
Yeah, I think both teams, that had to have been part of the conversation in the room. You know, that you can't let the emotions get too high. You can't ride the highs too high, and you can't ride the lows too low.
Yep.
You got to stay even keeled to be a successful hockey team, and I'm sure that was part of the discussion in the locker room. Both teams are exemplifying that so far.
And like you mentioned earlier, it's not that these games don't matter, because every game matters. But non-conference games, you want to keep everything in check, play some clean hockey, make sure all your guys can start the next game.
All the way back down, no icing. Now down in the corner, Goodwin has it.
A great hit by Lakaitis there.
That big body, hip checking him into the boards. Now, coming up the middle is Allwine.
3-on-2.
He takes it to the right. He finds Harvey back skating. And he was trying to hit Hoffman on the left wing, as there's some equipment being tossed around down here. Great defensive play by Filson on the other side of the ice. And now here comes Harvey up the left side. He hits Hoffman, who's going to enter the zone on the right.
Great work by Hoffman.
Sticking around, he's stood up by Quinn Collins.
And a broken stick down on the ice.
Now, we'll see whose that is. I believe it's Quinn Collins as he heads to the bench. He's exchanged out now. Again, Canisius trying to break out. That broken stick now in play. There's a missed pass that was intercepted by Filson, but now they're in the neutral zone. It's thrown off the glass. Maddox Rearick and Zach Soy back to collect. Soy's going to swipe it for Filson. Canisius is just trying to keep it in and then get the puck deep, see if they can get any sort of momentum here against the Hawks. That one's lofted up and into the rafters by Maddox Rearick. We'll see another defensive zone draw here for the Crimson Hawks. 45-32. The shot counter currently sits in favor of the Crimson Hawks. Still 6-1 the score, 5:41 on the game clock.
And this period seems to be moving, I don't know about you, but pretty quick here, Josh.
Yeah,
it kind of feels like we just hit the play button.
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of stoppages. You know, as we say that, there's now 2 minutes on the penalty board as assessed to the Crimson Hawks. So we'll see another penalty kill opportunity here for the Crimson Hawks for 2 minutes. We sort of missed what the call was or who it was on because there's currently nobody sitting in the box.
That puck's gonna go all the way down to the end, and quick battle here. Tudich is moving well, putting up a good forecheck as there's a scrum against the boards.
So we're hearing that that penalty was assessed to Spencer Johnston. Still, there's very quickly 15 minutes, a huge hit on the receiving end of it was North.
Tudich did a great job of selling that too. I don't think North knew that he was side-eyeing him coming in for that.
Yeah, a lot of energy from Tudich tonight. There's a shot in close that was gloved down by Paremba. He thought LeBlanc was coming in with a little too much speed, so he gave him a little shove.
Hey, you can't blame him. You don't want to get run over trying to freeze the puck up.
It's 5:05 on the game clock, 1:24 on the penalty clock. So see this draw to the right of Paremba. Yeah, let's go back to that hit. That was a pretty booming hit. There was 2 guys that hit the ice for Canisius and just one for IUP, of course, being Owen Tudich.
And I mean, like, it's even more impressive when you consider the fact that Tudich was sandwiched between 2 guys when he got hit, and he was still able to give one back in the process.
Now North
heads up over there in the bench.
And he swiped it out of play. That was right at Tudich. So he's going to throw him back onto the ice now. 1:05 on the penalty clock. The unit out there, Miller, Fairman, Donovan, and Lakaitis. Excuse me, Schmelzer. Now Canisius trying to break out and set up. Great forecheck by Fairman. He would have had a 1-on-0 the other way. Puck was at his feet and up and out of play. Donovan with a good hit on the blue line as well. That was a close-in look by Kulowicz that was sticked away by Schmelzer.
And we got a break here for Fairman.
Fairman on the right side. See if he can get around him. He tries to do the toe drag, around White, but it was sticked down by White.
Great work over there by
it's Miller.
Miller, yeah.
Miller just stood Luke White right up, where he stood.
He's an unstoppable force sometimes, Josh.
Yeah, that was great work. Now coming on the right side of Kulowicz. Swipes it back for his brother. And now dancing in is Luke White. He takes it around the net. He's going to give it to French. Miller intercepts, and he's going to take it into the neutral zone. 6 seconds.
Cross-ice pass for Fairman.
6 seconds to go on that penalty. It's whistled down for offsides. Just a second remaining on that penalty before we get back to 5-on-5. Of course, Fairman didn't think he was offsides.
Yeah, I think he was kind of pleading the case that the puck was sitting right on the blue line there, so it hadn't crossed yet. But we'll have a neutral zone faceoff here, and it's won by the Hawks and quickly taken back over by the Golden Griffins as they shuffle it to the side. Gonna look to clear it out and up over, and this is gonna be an easy icing. Maybe not, no icing call.
Won the foot race, so we'll be back to full strength now. Over there is Lakaitis. He swipes it for Gray. Mishandled pass now in tight. Kulowicz goes off the iron and missed wide. Certainly Paremba's got to show some love to his pipe there because he was beat as that puck is thrown off the glass up and out of play. It was a great shot off the stick of Goodwin. It's just
and like you said,
a centimeter too wide.
Yeah, and that was close. That was on the inside of the post, so it did have a chance to hit the post and go back in. But when you're having a great night like Paremba has in net, sometimes that post is your best friend too, and it gives you a few saves.
Yeah, 33 shots he's faced, only allowing one, make that 34 right off the draw. So he handled that one. 3:07 on the game clock. Hawks just piling that offense on, 45 shots for them so far tonight. A lot of possession time as well. Certainly a good night for Joe Hanzo and his forwards. Puck's kicked back in by Depredina. Swiped back into the neutral zone. Malloy on the forecheck, a mishandled pass. Tudic has it. He's going to turn it around because they were offsides. A reverse hit by Tudic. Pagano on the receiving end of it. Spencer Johnson was trying to find
Nice
Tudic.
hit by Lakaitis.
By Lakaitis. Booming. We saw the glass panels even shaking.
I mean, textbook hip check, if you ask me. He turned his back, lowered his hips, and delivered a powerful hit. And there's one returned on Malloy on the other end.
And we see both teams getting a little scrappy now in the final minutes of this game. 6-1 still the score. Maddox Rearick now coming up the left side. He's going to throw it in on LaPierre. And he's going to freeze it down and glove it. 2:13 to go in the game.
And I was kind of waiting for something like that to happen. You know, these Crimson Hawks can throw their body around quite well. They're really adapt to making quintessential reverse hits in situations, but also throwing the body around along the boards as well with the hip checks and shoulder checks as well.
Face off. One straight back by Canisius. Bowen swipes it around the back. On the other side's Lakomsky, but Soy keeps it in. He swipes it for Gray. Harvey on the forecheck. He's looking to disrupt. Just missed. Now Lakomsky gives it up for LeBlanc. He's coming up the right side. He throws one on Paremba. He doesn't know where it is. It's right at his feet, so the play stays live. Another big hit by Harvey on the far side. Maddox Rearick swipes it around the boards, trying to hit Gray. Now, Canisius playing with it in the neutral zone. Maddox Rearick steers it away from Paremba and gives it for Harvey, but Harvey lets it follow into the neutral zone.
Oh, no,
Fanned pass. Hoffman now has it with some speed. He shoots, tries to go in the upper pipe. He missed. He's taken into the glass. Gray trying to come and pick it away, but he's tied up. Now Lakomsky up the right side and gives it off for White. White trying to cross ice for LeBlanc. LeBlanc trying to dance around Schmelzer, unable to do so. Hoffman comes to collect it, and Schmelzer has it down deep.
Look for him to carry it up ice here.
He's going to take it in and do exactly that. Now he's going to dish it off for Harvey. A minute left in the game.
And good work by Schmelzer there to leave it and return back to his post. That defense drop back to help support Donovan there.
There's a great close off by Donovan. Textbook even. He tried to chip it around him, but he just held tall. Chipped it away. 39 seconds remaining on Donovan.
Beautiful pass across ice.
Malloy on the right side. He goes around one man. There's two. He hits Fairman coming in. Malloy subject to a hit. Schmelzer tried to shoot that in with some traffic, but Lakomsky snuffed that opportunity. Now LeBlanc on the right wing. He tries to go around one, but it's sticked away by Donovan. Now coming up the left side, Fairman with some speed. Cuts into the middle. Just closes him off on the right side.
What a pass, my goodness.
Tried to hit Miller on that left post with 8 seconds remaining.
A great save by LaPierre there.
Yeah, they're certainly not letting up. As the final seconds now ticking off the game clock. And what a game for the Crimson Hawks. A scoreless third period. But that is, of course, not without a 5 unanswered goal performance by the Crimson Hawks. Of course, winning this game 6-1 with a great performance by Shane Paremba as well. He faced 35 shots, only letting in 1.
And it kind of started all the same way as it did yesterday, Joss, except a little flipped vice versa. The Hawks had the first goal today, but we exited the first period 1-1, and it was very competitive. But something changed in that Hawks locker room coming back out on the ice for the second and third period. Don't know what they talked about, don't know what kind of different game plans they came up with, but usually when that happens and they can execute whatever changes they come up with, they blow out games like this, Josh. It's been incredible to watch, and now 6-0 on the season.
Yeah, I was just going to say that yet again, another weekend sweep as we'll head into the bye week 6-0, and they hand, of course, Canisius their first 2 losses of the year. We'll be back after the bye week at Syracuse University up in Buffalo, New York.
Very excited for that one.
And with that, for the IUP Hockey Network, I am Josh Yates. With me, Alex Duffalo. And good night.
Thank you.